what do I do? I hit play just to force myself into getting it started. Devo Wellness. Hey, my name is Nicholas. This is DIVO-Ted Talks or Devoted Talks, however you want to say it. And I, in a previous episode, talked about how I just hit play and see what's going on. This time, the only thing I could think of was like, it's coming on and recording. And yeah, I don't know what I'm going to talk about except for the fact that life is a giant mystery, and it has been called the great mystery by different cultures before because it is mysterious. And from our vantage point, our order of magnitude within the global collective and within the, galaxy or solar system, those orders of magnitude are much greater than us. And so there's probably things to understand and know at that level, but because we're not there, it's not within our purview. And so how do we operate within our purview successfully and in a way that lifts us up rather than tears us down? These are all fantastic questions, and we'll get into it. So how do you not deplete yourself while doing things that you need to do on the daily, right? How do you prevent burnout from working? How do you prevent burnout from doing a ton of activities? How do you prevent yourself from anything in your life that maybe has become an obstacle due to your relationship to it, whatever that may be, right? Perhaps it's an addiction, perhaps it is people, places, or things in your life that cause you to show up in a different way than you used to. And maybe that has to do with your background, history, traumas, lack of traumas, lack of understanding, huge amounts of empathy. All of these influence us in any given moment to, show up however it is we show up day to day, week to week, month to month, and hour to hour, minute to minute, second to second. You get the point. But again, those were orders of magnitude of units of time that we measure our experiences in. But what is unique about all-encompassing experiences, right? Time seems to disappear, and yet we're trying to quantify something that exists within moments, but moments that feel timeless. And yet we're using time or making a use of our time trying to figure out these things or explore these things or get back to these things, these moments of experience that are enrapturing, right? And my brain gets all kinds of kerfluffle, all mixed up is what I'm trying to say, thinking about stuff like that, because man, that's a rabbit hole. And I don't know what's right. I mean, I'm sure I can think about what feels right, but what influences what feels right is my experiences, past and present, that are influencing that belief and that expression of that belief right then and right, in my case, now. So what is it that we do about this? I'm glad you asked. We go and practice yoga, but like the deeper yoga. Asana helps. Asana is a great way to relax the mind, body, and spirit so that you're ready to receive the gift of meditation, but it's more of a relaxing, and it instantaneously or spontaneously in that moment existing or arising. I'm trying to think of a word. Also running through things in my head that I need to do, and I shouldn't think about two things at once because that just caused a train wreck. Can you see the smoke? For those of you who are on audio only, I was pointing at my ears and thinking about, the smoke billowing out because, everything's on fire. So anyway, yoga in the Western world is much different. It's evolving, but it's much different than what it was in the Eastern world. And yes, there is different disciplines, but I do believe that movement is the way, and I do believe that movement is medicine. However, solely using asana to heal is very, very, very minimalistic of its total functionality. And while it does have amazing application, impacts and effects and outcomes, it really is just this like one little tiny facet of the greater diamond that is yoga. The riches exist in the experience of it and the connection and the dissolution into it, right? I'm forgetting that I am so that I know that I am. Yeah. Dramatic pause. Dot, dot, dot. It's a lot to think about and it's a lot to understand about. And so I talk about this more as a reflection rather than anything definitive or, prescriptive. Ultimately, the practice of yoga is a feeling and an experience rather than an execution of things. And I say that also recognizing that the Yoga Sutras are that scientifically shown or codified methodology for achieving the state of samadhi, which is a dissolution of self into existence or with the object of your attention, whatever that may be. So if you're trying to connect to the greater you or the greater existence, which they would argue is there isn't really a difference between the greater you and the greater existence. That's neither here nor there. You expand and you dissolve into it, but it's just a method to get there with the Yoga Sutras. And so what if everything about our day became this calibration to these higher frequencies rather than hiccup and reaction, resolution, hiccup, reaction, resolution. And it got to this, oh, wow, that didn't quite feel right. I think I should do things this way or should look at things this way. And it's never emotional. Or not never emotional, but it's very seldomly emotional. It's very seldom painful. It's just more instructive and inspiring. And maybe I'm an idealist, and I say maybe, but I truly am an idealist. But what if? And we could go what if about everything. And that's fine, right? Sometimes going down those rabbit holes are a beautiful thing. But what I want to call you to today is understanding that things that cause you to be completely in the moment are the true yoga, and that what we do in the West is an interpretation of the codified methodology of practicing yoga. I'll say that another way. When you are enraptured in the moment and you just are weightless and so connected to all that is or all that is in front of you or the one thing that you're focusing your attention on. When you are in it, that is the yoga. The feeling of love and joy and the lack of need is the yoga. And that performatively doing these things can still get you to yoga and experience, but it's not the same because it's less organic and more forced. And I don't think I articulated that well based on my original assertion. But I'm going to go with it. And you know what? I can take myself with a grain of salt, and I can understand that we all take what we like and we leave the rest. So I'm sure somebody or multiple somebodies, actually probably multiple somebodies, got what I was saying and understand what I mean when I say that. In the West, what we have turned into yoga is fine because it does have beautiful effects and it does have beautiful healing, but it is just one small little facet in the greater riches that exist in every pocket of every moment, in every place, space, and face. Breathe it in. Be well, be free, and I wish you the most yoga of a day. Peace.